historic train tunnel now fully exposed on Shasta Lake.
Yeah, so this is what we talked about, kayaking through the train tunnel, the, what's it called? The Shasta Railroad Train Tunnel, I believe.
Yes, Shasta Railroad Train Tunnel.
Yes, it was built in 1884, flooded in 1945.
Which seems like a lot. It was only 60 years that it was. I mean, 60 years is really a short period of time if you think about it, but...
That they built it and then covered it in water.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, there's not much infrastructure in Northern California pre 1884, right? Like they came in, they're like, oh, this place is great. Let's just build a million things. And then they're like, oh, wait, we need water for everyone. Or, oh, wait, if we don't dam the Sacramento River, everything's going to flood. Redding will literally flood. We always talk about the Great Flood of 1864, where Leland Stanford, the governor-elect, had to paddle through the streets of Sacramento to be named governor at the State House. You knew that, right?
I don't think I did.
Yeah. Great story on activenorcal.com about that.
Shout out.
But that, that wouldn't have happened without both Shasta Dam and or the levees in Sacramento. But I digress. So everyone knows, it went super viral, that people were kayaking through this historic train tunnel. Now you can walk through it. That's how much the water has lowered over the course of 6 weeks. So it's actually pretty cool to see. And again, just like Lake Tahoe, this is the lowest the water's going to get. That water's going to start filling up again with this precipitation. But a pretty cool scene, showing the history of the area that is usually underwater.
Two things about the article that I found really fascinating. First of all, I didn't know that Kennett, which is the town underwater, once had 10,000 people. That's huge. That's way bigger than I thought it would be. And then, you also talk about in the article how a lot of people wanted to just stay until the very end and were then just flooded out. But what's stopping them from taking this bridge out?
So that's so funny you say that, because someone said that in the comments section, and I don't know if you saw that, but
I don't pay too much attention to the comments.
Yeah, I try not to, but I thought that was a really, good point. What is keeping them from taking it out? It can't be good for the environment.
It can't be, right? I mean, you look at this. I mean, it should be like stainless steel, but there is rust on it. And it just, now there are people that like to put, but the Great Barrier Reef, where they're putting like statues in so the reef can kind of rebuild itself. There are certain things where you can put man-made structures in environments, and that would help the fish population thrive, whether it uses those reef areas as protection or what have you. I just don't see any reason to keep this.
Yeah, that's funny you said that, because it's another comment I saw was, I bet there's a ton of lures sitting on that thing.
That's a very good point.
But I don't know. I had never thought about it until I saw someone say that. Why is it? Maybe it would cost a ton of money to do. You look at the ground; it's pretty darn muddy right there.
Sure.
So it's probably a difficult thing to do. You can't take the tunnel out,
right? And there's no reason to.
It's just that steel structure,
and you can when there's still water in that tunnel, you can kayak all the way through it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I saw someone take a freaking power boat or whatever you call them, those
seriously?
super annoying ones that are allowed, and drive all the way through it, because those boats are like pretty small and skinny. Oh yeah. Obviously it was pretty high. The water was pretty high at some point. At some point, it was just like a low puddle. But yeah, you can go all the way through to the end and turn back around.
Now you can just walk through it.
Yeah, now you can just walk through it, which you were able to do in 2015. So there are pictures from 2015 of people walking through this thing.
It just shows how low the lake is, though, because this structure is 20 feet tall, and it's usually completely underwater where you can't see it. And now it is fully exposed. And I mean,
not completely underwater. It is under. 100 feet of water. Like it is, that's how low the lake is. I mean, if you look at the picture of it with the usual water line, it's so far above it. Right. It's crazy. But yeah, it is a cool glimpse into Kennett, which Kennett, California was a boom town. It had its own stop on the railroad, which brought a lot of people in, in the 1800s. Numerous stores, saloons, a hotel, a schoolhouse. We have a whole big article about Kennett, California on our website. But I remember and this is back in all the cool stories about how Northern California was the Wild West. You look at like Weed, California. They called it, what did the Record Searchlight called it in like the early 1900s? The Sodom and Gomorrah of Siskiyou County, Weed, California. But no, they had like this, the Diamond Saloon was open 24 hours a day in Kennett, California. And it's when there was something that happened, and I forget, and I know it's in our other article, where the town, a lot of the work in the town had dried up, and so a lot of people had left, and that's why it became this perfect area to flood to make the lake, right? They didn't really care, and then some people wouldn't leave, and they said, well, too bad, here's money, and you better get out or else you're going to be swimming.
Yeah.
So fascinating to see, fascinating look into our history, and hopefully that thing is covered in water here again soon.